welcome everybody. We are back for another edition of Mini Athletics and Me. I'm Hannah Danby and we've got Claire Bowyer here, and today we are delighted to be joined by our guests Seb and Harriet, who have very recently launched Mini Athletics Stevenage, Royston and Hitchin. So hi Harriet and Seb.
Hello.
Hi, nice to speak to you.
Thanks so much for joining.
Excellent. So we're going to start off each podcast with 3 questions, and you can give 1-word answers each, maybe 2 if you have to. But yeah, 1-word answers, okay? So our first question is, what's your experience of mini athletics been like so far? So we'll go Harriet first. Harriet, sorry, I missed that one.
I'll go for fun.
And Seb?
Not my word.
It's hard to think of one, isn't it?
It's hard to think of another one as well, because I'd go with fun too.
Cool, that sounds good.
The same word?
Yeah. And what about 1 word to explain the mini athletics program?
I'll jump in first. Comprehensive.
I was gonna. Can I have 3 words?
You can have 3 words.
Easy to follow.
Cool. And this one I think you should be able to answer. Outside of mini athletics, what's your favourite hobby?
Running.
Yeah, activity, being active. Yeah, whether it's running, any kind of activity.
Great. I like those answers. Very good. So we're going to hopefully find out some more about you now.
Yeah, brilliant. So, well, to start, it'd be great just to hear a bit more about you both, really, your careers so far, I guess, a bit about your family before joining Mini Athletics. Don't know who wants to go first.
Yeah, do you want to go first?
Yep, I'll go first. So I'm Harriet. Together with Seb, we've got 2 young children, 2 girls, a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old, and they are very active. We've always encouraged them to push themselves. This summer we walked up Mount Snowdon, and our daughter was 3 years old at the time, and I think she was one of the youngest people to
Wow, that's incredible.
summit Mount Snowdon.
That is some climb.
Our eldest has already competed in the triathlon. When she was 3, she completed a 30-mile run throughout January. So we've always encouraged them to push themselves. And when it comes to clubs for the children, I think we've just struggled to find something that they've really exhausted themselves at, because they're just relentless.
They sound like they came out running, to be honest.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, as a family, we like to keep active, don't we? We do park run every week. You know, we've got an allotment. We like to go down to the allotment. And then in terms of my career, I've worked in education, but it's mainly around STEM, so science, technology, engineering and maths, and promoting that to young children. And that's actually where we first came across Mini Athletics. I was working at an exhibition, and Seb and our girls were enjoying the exhibition. I say exhibition, it was Carfest. Yeah, into you guys at Carfest, and that's how our journey started, really.
Amazing.
Shall I jump in?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
professionally, my background, I was an editor for a magazine in the dental world, very specific, and I'd kind of reached a bit of a glass ceiling there. So I decided to step away, and I decided to focus a bit more time with the family. So I left that job and went into, I bought a camera with no prior experience, and just thought I'll become a photographer and a videographer. So I left the job with all the mortgage with Harriet's support, I hasten to add.
Kind of.
And with no prior experience, and just went out trying to photograph and video things and get paid for it. And then as Harriet mentioned, I was spending a lot more time with the family, which was definitely a bonus. And it helped me to get my priorities straight, basically, and spend more time with the family, with the girls. So yeah, we were at Carfest, and really I came over, I think it was yourself, Claire, I came over to talk to. Because we looked for some classes in the area. We tried some other, I won't mention any names, but we tried some other kids' classes.
Yeah.
And they just hadn't fit the bill. They didn't fit the bill. And so we wanted to give Mini Athletics a go, but there wasn't a local Mini Athletics class. So I actually came over to speak to yourself, Claire, about volunteering and seeing if we could bring it to our local area. And yeah, one thing led to another, and here we are.
Yeah, it was quite quick, really, wasn't it? I
Yeah.
just remember that conversation, and I think you met with Kirk the next day, didn't you?
Yeah, yeah.
It was one of those,
super
wasn't it?
It moved quickly, yeah.
It was one of those things that I had spent the day working at Carfest, and then I came back to the hotel to meet Seb and the girls. And Seb was like, right, I found another business opportunity. And I just thought,
I can't do this again.
Yeah. But it's all worked out very well.
Definitely.
Yeah, what an exciting journey. So like a self-taught photographer, and then obviously
I mean, even the mini athletics, it didn't start off as a business idea. It was kind of aligned with our passions, like the family and being active. And those two things went together. So the business side of it is like a bonus, really. It's the fact that we get to take the kids to something that they enjoy, potentially inspire other children to be active, and do something that we all enjoy together. And potentially, if we do it well, get paid for it too.
And I think we were kind of doing it anyway. I feel like people will only invite our children to their birthday parties because they get 7 eyes who end up being bundled by all the kids. Like, I don't know how a parent sits at a birthday party and has a cup of coffee. I don't think we've ever managed to do that, have we?
No, not if there's a bouncy castle.
We've always managed to get roped into some sort of game. It's kind of second nature, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
big children at heart. Well, it's amazing. And as we said, it was a quick turnaround, obviously, from seeing you at Carfest to meeting Kirk the next day. And obviously now it's been 2 weeks since your launch. Is that right? I think you've done 2 weeks.
I think it's been 3.
3 weeks. So really, really new. How has it been since launch?
So I think I found it quite nerve-wracking at first. Seb has done all the marketing. He's done a really good job. But I was constantly checking emails and thinking, come on, I'm going to find it very awkward if I have one child at one of these classes. And I was just thinking, what can we do? What can we do? And then all of a sudden, it just seemed to take off. And I think last week was our best week for the public classes, wasn't it? But yeah, I mean, it's been pretty smooth, I would say. Would you say it's been pretty smooth?
Well, I mean, as I mentioned previously, the onboarding process is pretty comprehensive. So as part of that, there is a step-by-step guide that yourself, Claire, and Kirk have provided. So we, as far as the marketing goes, we kind of just followed that step-by-step process. And yeah, as much as I tried to hide it, when we launched and everything went live, there was a bit of a panic that... because it's all encompassing for us.
Yeah, totally.
We kind of assume it must be for everyone else. As soon as we hit live, why is nobody else booking? That was kind of the question running through our heads. But people did book on, and we got there. And yeah, as Harriet mentioned, we've got to a point now where, 3 weeks, 4 weeks on, we've got pretty much fully booked classes, and it has been a bit of a road to get there, but it has only been 4 weeks, to be fair. And so I don't think we could have hoped for much better, to be honest.
Well, you guys only trained on the first weekend in January, and we're not even at the end of January yet. So you've done all that, and I've been across to your launch, and I have to say it was amazing. It was fantastic. You were so organised in terms of when I got through the door, you knew exactly what you were doing. You wouldn't have even known it was like your first or second session when I got there, and the kids were just absolutely loving it, and they were, you had them sitting beautifully listening, to the instructions. They knew exactly what they were doing, and they really enjoyed the games because it was such a great session. I was super impressed, and it was really lovely to be there. I've still been talking to other people about it ever since. It was so exciting. I like being back in the thick of it and being with the kids, and that was really amazing. So well done.
Yeah, we're really enjoying it, and I think so. Last week was my favourite week, and I think it's because the children, they're getting into the swing of it. So they all knew about Waking Up Go-Go, and that's only taken 2 weeks, and they were all so excited. They'll come in running, and have we got Go-Go here today? And then so I coached the public classes on the Saturday, and then my daughter, she helps, and all the children know her as Coach Lola, and we've had some lovely feedback from one of the mums with a child with special educational needs, saying that they haven't managed to find a class for him, but he is just so attached to Lola that he just loves to come. And all the kids love her way more than they love me. And yeah, it's really nice to see, and her confidence has massively
Yeah.
grown as well.
She's 6, by the way, so yeah,
Yeah, isn't it
she is
amazing?
getting pocket money for it, but not quite hitting national minimum wage. But yeah, she's really stepped up, really grown to it. She is shy. She's a shy girl, but she's standing up in front of everyone, helping Harriet to teach the classes, role playing as well. Part of mini athletics is the imagination and the games involve imaginative play. And Lola's getting involved and pretending to be sharks and pirates. So she's really come out of her shell, and yeah, long may it continue.
Oh, it's so amazing to hear. But yeah, she was fantastic. In fact, both the girls were excellent. It was lovely to see. It's really nice to see it, because I do feel like at Mini Athletics we are a big family. You know, the franchisees, although we're not together, when we do get together, we all have so much in common. We're all passionate about the same thing. And I can see that from you guys and from your whole ethos as a family. So it's really amazing to see.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think selfishly, we obviously want to get our family involved, and we did it with our girls in mind. But actually, it is inspiring to see how active some of the other children. I mean, Harriet just mentioned to me the other week that she really loves it when some of the children are lying on the floor knackered, red faces. You know, she knows she's done a good job then, because she's absolutely tired them out, and invariably there is at least one, if not half the class, lying on the floor. You know, it's like a war scene. They're all on the floor. So,
Not her, just tired.
so yeah, then she gives herself a little pat on the back, I think, for that. So it's nice to do that, and hopefully, yeah, inspire the children to find a love for movement and activity.
We've also managed to secure some funding in this first 3 weeks of having the
wow.
franchise. We've managed to secure funding for 8 classes. So a local authority, I think that's maybe what we want to call them, have funded us to run these classes, provided us with the venue, and then the parents just book on for free, but we're getting paid through them. And that's worked really well, because it's getting the classes out to a wider network. And also some of those people have decided to book onto our public class following coming along to the funded class.
Because they obviously have siblings as well, so the younger siblings go to the classes that are funded are targeted more towards a younger age. But their elder siblings might not be able to come. They're at school for whatever reason, and then at the weekend they'll come along to our public classes. But again, it just enables us to reach a wider audience and get mini athletics out to more children.
That's amazing.
Totally. Yeah, that's amazing. You've got that funding already. Shows what a brilliant job you're doing with your marketing and getting in touch with, kind of all the relevant local authorities.
Well, and also it's a big pat on the back for the training that Kirk and yourself, Claire, put us. The rigorous training that you put us through at the beginning. Don't get me wrong, it was a steep learning curve as well, but I didn't expect it to be quite as comprehensive. You certainly, I don't want to talk financials, but you certainly get your money's worth. Because you've obviously been there, you've done it, you've got the experience. So from buying into the franchise, you already fast forward yourself with all that experience. You have that community as well in the background that you can bounce ideas off. And I feel personally that if we do have any questions, if yourself, Claire, and Kirk aren't available for whatever reason, there's a whole community out there that we can reach out to. That can answer that question. So you definitely understand what you're buying into. And that was one of the things. I have an accountant because I had the photography and videography business, and I spoke to him before jumping in, and one of the questions he asked was, is this not something you could do yourself? And don't get me wrong, it was one of those ideas that went through my head, but I can completely understand why you would go through a mini athletics franchise, all from the equipment, the lesson plans, the learning, the community. You absolutely more than get the support that you pay for.
The brand, yeah.
The brand as well, absolutely.
Oh, that's absolutely lovely to hear. Thank you. And you followed the process so well anyway. But I was just thinking, would you like to talk a little bit more about your training that you had right from when you kind of signed to that launch date that you had in January?
Yes, I think Seb can probably speak through the online-based training with Kirk, because you led on those meetings. I obviously came to the in-person one, but
Yeah, so it started out with one-on-ones with Kirk, and I can't remember how many there were. There were a number that probably lasted about 3 months, maybe. These one-on-one lessons, we had them via Zoom call, and they lasted about an hour each. Maybe one, I don't know, on average, maybe one every other week. It depends on availability. And through each of those calls, we talked through different aspects of it, from marketing to the cost to what we were buying, like the area that we were buying, that kind of thing. And then so that was like the initial call to get us up to speed so that we understood everything about mini athletics. That wasn't really any training. That was just so that we fully understood what we were buying into. And I think it's also a bit of a test for us, because you don't want necessarily people buying into mini athletics that aren't going to prioritise it, that don't know what they're buying into, and maybe might drop the ball 5-6 months down the line. And then following that, we went on to the training, which I guess you can talk about.
Yeah, I think just to add to the online calls with Kirk, I think it was a test of commitment as well, because and also to slow the process down a bit, because it's quite easy to see something and think, yeah, I'm going to do it.
Yeah,
but
totally.
Obviously, you guys need to get to know us. We need to get to know you and the business. So yeah, I think that process worked very well. And then the training was a Friday, Saturday, and then a Sunday morning, which was actually quite nice, because we went away for the weekend, which I don't think we've done in years.
I know, I remember when I did mine, I really enjoyed that. I had 2 nights in a hotel. I was like, this is great.
Yeah, it was like our date weekend.
Yeah.
It can be like teamed with an anniversary or something.
Yeah, I mean, Claire, if you could book them abroad, book a hall abroad.
Yeah, let's do it.
Great.
It might be better.
I need to join too if that's happening.
But yeah, it was nice. We met some other new franchisees, which was great. I didn't actually know who was going, so we didn't know if it was us or other people, but we met another couple and then another lady as well. Really nice people, so that made the training a lot more fun as well. The first day was, Claire, you talked us through 2 themes, I think, all the classes for the 2 themes, and we were the participants, which Seb and I very much
we enjoyed.
We're very, very competitive.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, we really enjoyed that. And then the next day we each taught a class, which I was absolutely terrified, I'm not gonna lie. I was really scared, and I said to Seb, I'm gonna try and go first, just to get it over and done with.
Yeah.
I think I got myself a drink, and then he was setting up for the first.
I jumped in.
I thought I was.
He hadn't said anything.
No, he jumped straight in there. But yeah, it was fine. We were all in the same boat.
This is it. Everyone knows what they're doing, so we're not trying to make it awkward for the other person. So everyone, I mean, by the end of the day, I don't know about you, but I was pretty tired running up. We had, 5 classes between us, plus there was more training at the end of the day, so I was ready for a sit down after that.
I will add that you did go for like a 5k run in the morning, or maybe even 10, was it? I don't know.
Yeah.
That's how fit this person is.
Yeah, just to get yourselves going. No, that weekend, I mean, it is full on, but it's tried and tested. And I think what I know from doing it myself, kind of been thrown in the deep end is the best way. And to be able to go to the real life classes is totally invaluable, because it's obviously different doing it when other adults are pretending to be the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Sunday morning was at a class, and we did take our children along to that as well, because being away for 2 nights just wasn't doable. So we managed to do the one, and then we nipped back home and got the girls to come to the Sunday morning, which was really great fun. They enjoyed it, we enjoyed it, and then it was just a bit of a pat on the back after that, wasn't it?
Well, we timed it perfectly, because the following week was our first public class, which Harriet was leading. So there wasn't that long time between being trained and jumping into the deep end, which meant we couldn't forget any of the the details of the class. I mean, we also obviously have the plan as well to go through, but I think it meant that there wasn't a long time for it to build up in our head, that we could just jump in and give the class a go.
Yeah, and I think a few people said, "Oh, you're turning this around quite quickly," but that was all planned. It wasn't accidental. We'd planned as soon as we heard that was a training day, we were like, right, let's just do it, because at some point we need to launch class. So why wait 3 weeks? Why not just do it now? And yeah, I didn't want it building up in my head. I was very scared. It's not scary once you get into it at all.
No.
I noticed she was holding up Gogo on the first lesson, her first public class lesson. And I noticed, I don't think anyone else did, that her hand was shaking. But by the second class, she wasn't. She was completely in the zone and just enjoying it. And by the second week, I think you were just involved, weren't you? You were just enjoying it. I don't think you saw yourself as taking a class. You were just enjoying the process.
Yeah, and no one's looking at you as the coach. They're looking at their child and seeing the class through their child's eyes. And then any parent that isn't, they're not getting what they need to get from the class. You need to see it through the child's eyes and be there for your child and for nothing else.
It's the adrenaline rush at the beginning, isn't it? And then you quickly settle it. Like you said, all the lesson plans and, everything's there for you, but you've still done brilliantly to get on board with it all so quickly. Can I ask you, what do you think has been the most challenging bit of your journey so far?
I think for me, there was a lot happening at once. So Seb was employed in December. He then went self-employed, doing a bit of his own thing, a bit of this. We launched Mini Athletics in January. We were looking at moving house.
Oh, wow.
It just felt like everything was happening at once. And at the beginning of January, I kind of wrote down like the month ahead, just to kind of get it out of my head and think, right, these are all the hurdles we need to get through. And now we're at the end of January and we've got through all those hurdles quite seamlessly, haven't we?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think it just seemed all consuming. Lots was happening at once, but actually they're just small hurdles and you just got to get over each one rather than seeing it as such a big.
And how good do you feel now?
Yeah, definitely. My comfort zone has definitely grown, which is only a positive.
Yeah.
From my perspective, and it's still the case, is how tricky it's been to get contracts with nurseries and schools. I think I was overly cocky beforehand.
Okay.
I'll just call them up. It'll be fine. I'll just talk them through it, and it's not been as straightforward as I assumed. But Hannah, we have a monthly call now booked in as part of the onboarding, as part of the process, and just talking it through with you made me realise that I'm not the only one going through that. I'm not necessarily getting it all wrong. That everyone goes through this.
No, not at all.
It's still tricky to get those contracts, and I guess if it was easy, then everyone would be doing it, right? So I've slightly changed the way I'm doing things and having those conversations, which is definitely helping. And Harriet came up with an amazing idea, which we're thinking of doing, taking Mini Athletics to nursing homes and seeing whether we can host it in nursing homes and bridge that generational gap so that the older generation can interact with the kids. And we're just checking that off with insurance to make sure that there's no issues there. But the nursing homes have been so receptive. There's been studies to show that this can really help the mobility of older generations, and I think this could be a real win-win situation as long as the insurance doesn't get in the way. I think this could be a really, really big benefit for the community, and I really hope it does work out, because if we can do this, it would be amazing.
I think that's what we were saying, with the schools, it's the relationship building, isn't it? And you guys are going to be brilliant at that. I know that you once you get on the phone and turn up on their doorstep. But yeah, it's not a quick win, but the process it will pay off.
I think from my perspective, it was cockiness. It was absolute cockiness. I just thought. No, I've come from dentistry. I don't know why I thought that would help. But
School.
I thought I'd come from industry. I'd be able to take what I've learned and implement it here, and it's definitely not been as easy. But like I say, it's just cockiness, and I think I've had a reality check, and go again.
Well, I think I love because I'm sorry, Harriet, you go.
No, I don't know if you've ever done like the personality colours. Seb is quite heavily red and I'm quite heavily green. So Seb is very much like, this is what we're doing it. Whereas I'm running around in the background, like trying to sort out all like the detail and all like the little things around the side. But I think that works quite well. So Seb wasn't worried about the schools and nurseries. I was. I think because we've got both the colours, it works quite well. We just
totally.
the blue and the yellow, and then we're a complete set.
Yeah.
Maybe the girls will fill that hole.
Yeah, that's true. Balance each other out. Yeah, no, it's great teamwork. Yeah, that's why it's working so well. So off the back of talking about the most challenging bit, could you pick one highlight so far?
For me, it's running the class with my daughter and seeing how she's come on leaps and bounds. Obviously seeing all the other children as well really enjoying it, but it's something special about seeing your own child and how they're growing in the role. And she loves her title, Coach Lola, like that's her. She was telling all her friends that she's a coach. And I like doing it with her, and we've had a lot of positive feedback from the family saying how nice it is to see that we've got our daughter involved in it. The youngest is still a bit too young to be responsible enough to help run the class, but she will one day.
Yeah, she's smart as well, so she's really good.
Yeah, great role model, isn't she, for the others?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and it would be the same for me. It's hard to pick just one. I think filling the class has been. It is the confidence that Lola, our eldest, has really developed since helping to run the class. Has been the big win, I think, from my perspective. But there's so many little wins on the journey, like running your first class. Coming away from that it feels amazing, and then filling the classes as well. The people are actually receptive and want to keep coming back. The feedback we had pick one.
How many were up to? 5, 6?
Exactly. I've got to go with it being a family business, a family thing that we can all run. Talking about it over the dinner table. Harriet sent a message to the school today to say Lola has been helping to coach. She's getting a bit of pocket money, so she got up in front of class. Did she get a sticker for her?
She got a sticker, and then about 3 of the kids in her class were saying, "Can I come?" I was like, "Yes, tell their parents."
Yeah,
they can come too.
Good advertising.
So just the fact that it's a family, and she has kind of possession of it as well, and she has some investment in it. I just love the fact that, and this is stuff you can't learn at school. The motivation, she's not going to pick that up at school, and the work ethic as well. She sees the work that goes in behind it, and I'm hoping that she'll come up with ideas as well in the future that we might be able to implement, and we can give it a go, even if they don't work, and she can see that through to fruition. So that opportunity, like I say, you don't get that education in school, and I love the fact that she's able to get that.
It's amazing that the whole family are able to kind of come on, get involved. It's similar for lots. Claire and Kurt, your boys. My eldest was, they were young when they started, and she's nearly 14, and she's so excited that at 14 she's officially assistant coaching, and
brilliant.
They will grow up. Mini athletics is kind of in their blood, and the same, that's one of the big drivers for Claire and I as well, is that our families can also be involved in the business and in our journey.
I think from COVID has a lot to say about that, really, doesn't it? Pre-COVID, we all kind of had to be work and home, and they were kept very separate, and you weren't kind of allowed to show your vulnerability, your family life in your work life. But now I think there's a bit of blurred lines with working from home, so it's nice for them to be able to get involved with something that we're working on, rather than it just being, no, this is my office, this is where I do work. They can get involved. But we've also got into quite a nice habit. So we do the Saturday morning class, and our youngest goes to ballet and then we all meet up afterwards for a coffee, and we all wear our like mini athletic stuff in a very busy coffee shop in the middle of town where our public class is. A bit more advertising, but it's a nice treat at the end of the classes for us all.
Yeah, I was going to mention that because Seb told me about that last time we met. And that's brilliant, isn't it? Great that you can go out as a family and everyone see you in your red.
Yeah,
We stand
it's
out.
hard to miss.
Yeah, we do stand out wherever we go.
Yeah.
Cool. Right. So just last question. You kind of touched on this anyway, but how do you think mini athletics is going to change your life? Sounds like it already has. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it has, and it's just an opportunity to, like I say, like I'm just repeating myself. Take what we love, the activity, the running, the jumping, the throwing. Take what we love and try and inspire some other kids. Try to get our kids as well more involved. So it's taking what we love and helping to turn it into a business. So it already has, and we just want to keep it growing, keep it growing as it is.
Well, your ambition and your drive is definitely infectious.
yeah.
Yeah, it's really clear to see. It's
That's
great.
good to hear.
Yeah, and the same goes for me, really. It's nice doing something as a family, putting aside having the girls involved. It's quite nice for Seb and I to work on something together, because I've always seen Seb do his dentist stuff and not really understand what he's talking about, and he's seen me do my like engineering side of things and not really understood that. So it's quite nice for us to come together and really understand what each other's striving for.
Just to be clear, I'm not a dentist.
And I'm not an engineer.
If you need a filling, go to a dentist. Yeah, no, that is true, actually. Working on this, I mean, I've always thought Harriet has been brilliant at her job, and some of the stories she comes back with, I think, are very inspiring. So to actually work together on a project is fun. It is just fun. It's and then to get that reward as well at the weekend is amazing. So yeah, I think it's been good for our relationship, and it's been good for the family relationship too.
Oh, fantastic. Well, thank you so much for coming on and telling us all about it. It's been amazing listening to your story, and you've done a great job. Super impressed.
No, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you
really
for all your
excited
help.
to be working with you both, moving forward and see where the journey takes you.
Yeah, we're really excited. It'll be interesting this time next year to see where we are.
Definitely.
And we're really looking forward to the Superstar Day.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. We're talking to a few of the children from our classes, and we're really excited. I don't know whether they're just entertaining us or they are really excited as well. But we're really looking forward to that.
No, it's a great time, and that family atmosphere,
Yeah,
it's amazing. Seeing all those kids on the track, it's one of the best days of the year, honestly. I love it. So, yeah.
Oh,
Brilliant.
that's really exciting.
fingers
Yeah.
crossed for the sun.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Not too much. I don't know if we're quite our complexion isn't best suited to the sun, so we will. If you need suntan lotion, we'll definitely have it.
Yeah, I think it was 2 years ago. It was roasting, wasn't
Was it really?
Yeah, it was.
You'll find us in the shadows.
But
Yeah,
it's
that'd be
super
brilliant.
nice. So, yeah. We'll look forward to seeing you then.
Yeah,
Lovely.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks so
Thank
much
you
for
so
joining
much.
us.
Lovely
Thank
to speak to you.
Bye.